State your name.
My name is Demarius Travis, also known as Exodus.
Right on, man. Where you from?
I'm originally from California, but I've been here since 1999, so
Right on.
yeah.
So you basically kind of grew up in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little childhood was in California, but middle school, high school,
Right on.
was up here.
You got a big family?
I'm an only child, but my grandmother had 11 kids, 7 boys and 4 girls, so I come from a big family.
Sure. So here in Vegas, just you and your parents, or?
Just me and my mom.
And your mom.
Like, I never knew my dad.
Okay. So what was it like growing up, just you and your mom out here in Vegas? And what was that experience like?
It's been kind of rough. I mean, my mom was a single parent. I was the only child, so we moved around a lot. Moving from home to home and staying from like this family member's house to this family member's house. So I moved around a lot. So making friends back then was a little difficult. Even though I stayed in the same school, I moved around from home to home. So neighborhoods were, it was kind of hard for me to have that neighborhood friend or those neighborhood buddies and everything. So.
Sure. So, tell me about your childhood as far as, well, let's jump to like the teenage years.
Okay.
What was that like? You're in high school. What were you doing? What were you involved with?
Oh man, high school I was good, but I was like low key doing all bad stuff. Like I was raised in the church, so I knew right from wrong, but I completely took the other way. I was ditching, I was drinking, I was smoking. I mean, I was drinking by the age of 14. I was smoking by 13. But I didn't smoke too much though, because I'm an asthmatic, so my lungs couldn't handle it anyway. So drinking was my thing.
Yeah.
I was always the one with the bottle in my hand, and like nobody really knew low key, because I had my little friends or my little group, and they pretty much kept to themselves, and they really didn't tell nobody, and nobody really knew about what we was doing low key. And I hung around the bad crowd, and people always see me. I was always blued up, so I let who I was who I was with all the time. And just in high school, it's been kind of crazy. Like I was in drive-bys, and bullets didn't hit me, but I was like, that was just God. At the time, I didn't know it was like God covering me. I didn't like ran into people's houses and like jumped on the dude like going hard for the devil. Just like just doing all kind of stupid stuff. It's just now it's just stupid, because it's like back then I was doing it all for the wrong reasons, because I'm my only child, so I never really had no friends or anything like that. So I was doing it thinking that, okay, I need to be cool, so I'm gonna roll with them. Thinking that, okay, this is cool, I'm rolling with them, they my friends, so if they doing it, I gotta do it too. Basically trying to fit in, not being an individual and standing up for what I know is right. You know what I mean? Looking for other people's acceptance, and that's what we do. As people, we look for other people's acceptance and try to fit into their life instead of fitting into the life that God has called us to be in.
So how old were you when you explain the experience of you finding God? Like how did that happen?
Like I always knew God, because I grew up in the church, and I always knew how to pray, and I always knew how to praise and everything. But during that whole high school time, from like 14 to like 19, I was like, basically I was rebelling. Like, don't hang out with this person. Oh, I'm been out hanging out with that person. Or don't drink. Oh, I'm gonna drink. Don't smoke. I'm gonna smoke, even though I know I can't handle it because I'm an asthmatic. So I'm, just stupid stuff. And when I was 19 years old, I was dealing with depression a lot. I was depressed. The spirit of depression was on me very heavy, all throughout high school and throughout college. When I tried to go to college and stuff, and around about I was like 19 or 20, and I was like going through a tough time, and I was feeling really, really depressed, and I was just like, you know what? If life's supposed to be this difficult, I was like, I don't even want to be here. I really don't. And I had a half a bottle of volume, and it was a 90-day supply, so it was about 30 pills in there. And I had a half a bottle of Percocet, about 30 pills. And I'm a big dude, so my prescription is high, and I popped both pills, like both bottles, just chugged them down within an hour span. And I was hallucinating. At the time, I didn't even know who my mother was. I thought she was some random dude trying to do something to me, and it was so crazy. And I ended up going to Monte Vista Hospital, which is for behavior and everything like that. I tried to overdose and everything, and God right then was like, God told me, you don't need to overdose because I'm always here. All you have to do is believe, and I'm always going to be here. God never leaves us. What happens is we tend to leave him because what we're going through, we feel that we can't handle it, even though he says he'll never leave you nor forsake you, nor put more on you than you can bear. But at the time when you're going through the storm, sometimes you don't feel that, but that's when you got to know in your heart that you got to stand on the word. But at the time, I wasn't standing on it. And when I popped those pills and I was laying in the hospital bed, I was sitting there and I was like, God, I was talking to him and I was like, God, forgive me and I need you to help me. And since then, my life started to turn around. I stopped hanging around certain people. I stopped doing some of the things that I used to do, and things of that nature, trying to get my life right, because I knew that I should have died. Like my brain is not supposed to be here. They told me that I popped so much pills that I should have been called brain dead, but I was still talking. They couldn't figure it out, and they was like, maybe it was because you popped them in over an hour, but still that high dose, your brain should be mushed, and my brain's still intact. So it's nothing by the grace of God that I know that I'm still here for a reason, to tell you this story, that God will never leave you. And since then, man, my life has changed for the better. God came in my life and he's really showed me some things, and he really showed me who I am in him. And he's really showed me, how to walk and how to lean and to trust and depend on him and not depend on man for what you need, but depend on God for what you need. He wants you to depend on him. He's just waiting for you. He's not waiting on us. He's waiting on us. You're not waiting on him. He's waiting on us. All you got to do is just stretch out your hand.
So, thanks for sharing, man.
No problem. This is Exodus. Letting you know that no matter what you're going through, God will always be there for you. Just call him.